Good evening, Kom TV viewers. Holei ka hoi Kom TV kan rakip chunga kana ni nizat ni phung ka Kom mi pui rakip Kom TV kalhang ken kajana salam kahi pekchui tuning ka nikho hi aini siga Kom TV siga wangkathata ke nikara Ankur Das inte tuna chunga Civil Service examination 52nd rank all India rank 52nd ama hi general IAS confirm kasangyo ana apa hi assistant commissioner retired laikasang last yang kum ni makhan ana tuning kanikho hin aini ka komi hai student hai civil service aspirant hai anmani mathok nasiga anmani an preparation na hai khongin mo civil service hi an big thai sik tiar khan hi ve program hi ahen tu kachanga ni so pu hi tun takhin an mani ka chin hi rai antron ka tamira chang inom Kom TV le niza lungset na an mani nom phabong khat an tai nei chung hin an chung an pa khai phong. Thank you so much Ankur and my sir HK Das sir, and today we are fortunate to have Mr. Ankur Das, All India rank 52 in the recently declared Civil Service Examination 2021. It is indeed a delightful moment to have him in our midst in this Kom TV interaction program. Ankur Das is the pride of Meghalaya. Every high dignitaries and everyone, the whole state is proud of him, and we are so fortunate, Ankur, and to your father also I want to extend my gratitude because I know you are very busy, and yesterday even you were having headache and because you don't eat properly. It's all, I understand that everyone is happy and we are also very much happy, and in spite of all your busy schedule, just now 10 minutes before our minister has visited you, and right after that you gave us this time, and this is a very privilege, and we are so fortunate to have. And I believe that this discussion is for especially to our community and all the Kom TV viewers, so that they will benefit, and especially the civil service aspirant. Through your experience, I believe that you start with an humble background, and there are so many interviews has been done. Many of them might have listened to you, but I think this will be especially to my community, the Kom community, where they can learn something from you. And with this, I want to say thank you, Ankur, and sir will join, Sir HK Das sir, your father will join us after some time, and I want to say thank you. And it will be just an interactive session. Please feel free, and we just wanted you to share your experience so that our students, they can get something from you, and they are an inspiration, because going through your interview in some of the media, it has been an inspiring. So I believe that it will be a blessing and it will be an encouraging for all of you. Now I would like to give the time to Mr. Stoney, the Kom TV producer, to have some question for you.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, welcome Mr. Ankur Das. Congratulations, and I, on behalf of the Kom TV, once again congratulate you. And we are very fortunate that you are here physically, though it is a online video conferencing. This is what we are doing in today's COVID time. So we are very fortunate you are here, and then we have so many questions. So many students are asking so many questions, but we will make it more interactive. And before we start, I would like to say one thing, that our Kom TV will present you Kom TV t-shirt for your family, for you, for your father, and for your mother, and whoever's present in your home. And this will be sending from Delhi very soon, maybe coming this week. So please do accept our small gift. that's all. Before we start, I would like to say a few words. Now, we want to ask you so many questions, but first of all, we want to know something about you. So, will you please tell us something about you?
All right. I'm sorry. It's pretty late at night, but a very warm hello to everyone who's watching it from all across the country. Uh, yeah, it indeed is a great feeling, and thank you so much for your generous words of introduction. Uh, so, I belong to Meghalaya. I belong to Shillong, and I did my schooling from St. Edmund's School here. And thereafter, I went to Amity University in Noida, and I did my BTech in biotechnology from there. And I graduated in 2017, and since then, I have given full time to this UPSC preparation. So yes, it has been 5 years, 5 arduous years, but I'm delighted at the results. It indeed is a great feeling, and yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And the next question is, why do you choose civil service, and who inspire you to become an IAS officer?
Yeah, that's a great question. Growing up, I always wanted to join the civil services, and a very big part in this was definitely my father. He retired as assistant commissioner in Central GST and Customs. And while growing up, I used to hear stories from him about what happens behind the scenes, and I also had the privilege of interacting with some serving officers then. And that's when I realized that probably this is something I would want to do later in life. And of course, since you know, after after passing school and during my graduation, once I got to know more about civil service exam and how it is done, I was motivated to give this a good shot. So yes.
Thank you so much. Atunani thaika Ankur Dasi a school hi Shillongan pur etoke. Khavasule Amity University Noida Uttar Pradesh Delhi border hi vehin aman BTech atoke. Khavakan hiva UPSC Civil Service ay ton humna yar hi apanum inspire ay toti kha tunakan ay rio. The next question is how many years it took you to clear UPSC Civil Service? How many years it took you to clear UPSC Civil Service? There is a lost connection. He will be coming back again. Lungsat taka aini viewer hai. Lenghak hiri. Meghalaya hi network hi aumori ke. So he will be coming in a few minutes. This is what happened in this internet world. So he's coming back.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah. It's okay.
which video is not there.
It happens.
Sorry.
So the question was, how many years it took you to clear this UPSC Civil Service?
So I gave 5 attempts. This is my 5th attempt, and I started my preparation in 2017. And so 22, 21, in fact, the exams were in 21. So yes, it took me 4 whole years
Okay.
to clear this attempt.
Oh, thank you so much. So how many times have you cleared prelims so far?
So I could not clear the first prelims I gave in 2017.
Okay.
And thereafter 18, 19, 20 and 21, I was fortunate enough to clear prelims, but I could not clear mains.
Okay.
And this year I could fortunately get through.
That means you have cleared 3 times prelims and you could not clear mains, and at 4 times prelims and you clear mains, and you are through this year, right? That's very good. So what are the challenges you are facing during preparing for UPSC examination? The challenges you face during your preparation for UPSC examination?
Yeah, so I think the first challenge that any serious aspirant faces in this preparation phase is not, the knowledge or the books or anything that is available. You go to any market in Delhi or even nowadays online, you can get all the books and all the resources you want. The first biggest hurdle one faces is the mind, because of course there are very brilliant candidates who cleared it in first or second attempt, but for most of us it requires quite a few years. And to keep yourself motivated
Mm-hmm.
for these for very difficult and you know mentally exhausting years, that is the biggest challenge you face.
Okay. And what else? Any other challenges you are facing?
Right. So yeah, apart from the psychological part, of course, most of us, at least I am from a science background, so the humanities portions, and it is quite a big portion of the civil service syllabus, especially technical parts like economics. So that personally was a challenge for me.
Okay.
Um, that was the number one, and number two. Again, since we are from science background, and I was a BTech student, writing long answers was we did not usually do that. In something
Okay.
which humanities, it's there.
Okay. Thank you so much. And today I will not repeat it again. Atuna atay rikha amai science background na changjarakan arts paper general study history hay economics hay atay na kan phakal atti katam lang sap tong nimret patke. I will not make it explain it again. So let's go to the next question. The question is, in our community, especially with the Kom tribe, like we said, as per 2011 census, we are only 14,500 something. And today, if I'm not wrong, we the Com have only one IAS officer. Today we invite him, but he had a busy schedule, so he could not come right now. And we have IPS officer, one IPS, and then but it's been more than 8 years now, 8 years gap. Nobody has clear prelims. So many students who wants to prepare for civil service, they don't know how to do. So today we want to ask you, Ankur, will you please tell us slowly, step by step, okay, how a beginner, like who, suppose you just take me, I am as a fresh graduate this year, how will I start preparing if I want to become a civil servant, if I want to become IAS, IPS, or any civil service job, if I want to become a civil servant, how can I start preparing this civil service exam? So will you please tell us step by step how to prepare civil service examination, especially for beginners? Thank you.
Thank you. That is a very interesting question. So I will start right from the basics for the benefit of our young viewers.
Okay.
So the Union Public Service Commission is one of our constitutional bodies, which is it is mentioned in the Constitution. Many other bodies are not, but the
Right.
Union Public Service Commission is there. So the UPSC is tasked by the Constitution to select uh, Group A officers for the Government of India, and of course All India services as well. So the All India Service Officers and the Central Civil Service Officers, they run the senior management of the state governments and the government of India. And apart from the IAS and the IPS, which many of us know, there are many other services. For example, people might be knowing about the Indian Foreign Service, the Indian Revenue Service, Indian Audit and Account Service. So I think, if I'm not wrong, around 16 to 17 services are there, and they deal with every department under the sun. So everything we go forward in life with, probably there is a civil servant who is managing it somewhere, sitting somewhere there, and he's managing it. So this exam is conducted by the UPSC, and it has 3 stages. Uh, uh, First is the preliminary stage, and second is the mains stage, as we call it, and third is of course the interview. So every stage has different requirements. For the preliminary stage, it is a multiple choice question format. So there are two papers in the preliminary stage. First paper is the general studies paper. So there are 100 questions, and you have to attempt them, and there is a cutoff which changes every year, but you need to comfortably clear the cutoff. And apart from that, there is another thing called paper 2, which is called the Civil Services Aptitude Test. I'm sure many of the viewers will be acquainted with aptitude, with mathematical aptitude, and also reading and comprehension. So that paper, you just need to qualify. Your marks are not counted. So your marks are only counted from the preliminary paper 1. And once you clear that paper, you go to the main stage. The main stage again, there are 9 papers. And all of them are descriptive papers. So there is one English paper and one Indian language paper. So I think there are certain communities which are exempted from that. So that would probably make it 8 papers for them. But the language papers are there, 2 or 1 language paper, and then there are 4 general studies papers. There is 1 essay paper, and there are 2 optional papers. So optional is one, a subject. There's a list of subjects, and you can choose one subject from the optional list, and you have to give 2 papers in it. So that can be a graduation subject. Many people choose subject which is not the same as the graduation. So that said, these out of these papers, the language papers are not counted for the merit. So out of the 9 or 8 papers, only 7 papers, essay, 4 general studies, and 2 optional, they are counted. And once you get the required cutoff for mains, then you go to the interview stage. In the interview stage, it happens in Delhi, the UPSC building in Delhi, Sulpur House, as it's called, and it's a very beautiful building, and it's a privilege to be going inside it. And where you have to face an interview panel of around 4-5 members are there. And once you give that, your marks in the mains examination and your interview marks are totaled, and based on that, a rank list is made. So there are different categories. So say around 40-50% is under general, and after that there are certain reservations. So according to those categories, the top whatever required number is there from that merit list that they have prepared, these candidates are declared qualified, and amongst them, certain candidates who rank higher, they get their choice, and mostly it is IAS that most people choose. So yes, this is a broad outline of the process.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's very well explained. And here we want to ask you again, Ankur. We are not so sure, but we have heard that those who could not clear CSET, that is paper 2, their paper 1 is not checked, they say. Is it right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That
you have
means
to clear the CSET.
Yeah, CSET means that common aptitude test. That is, if they could not clear it, their paper 1 is not checked, right? So the mark is not counted, but that is very much mandatory, right?
Definitely.
Thank you so much. Because sometimes the student might take easily, but then this is very much very important.
Very important.
Yeah, very important.
Even if you are very good at general studies, if you do not clear that, your paper only will not be checked.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Thank you so much, Ankur. And we have a few more questions. Very, very much interesting questions are coming up. Today, we really need you because you have come across so many attempts, and then finally God has given you to become an IAS officer now. And before I ask you that questions, let me just put a small advertise. If any Kom tribe, if you meet any Kom tribe in your office, please ask them to have a cup of tea.
Definitely. It would be a
because
pleasure.
We are very we are very small in number. So if you happen to meet any Kom boy or girl, just call them to have a tea. Okay?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, and you're most welcome. I don't know where I'll be posted, but if you are in the same place as I am, you can please, please come and meet me. I would be a very big pleasure for me to have.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And now let's go to the question. Ankur, we have couple of students. If I'm not wrong, we have around 10 students, maybe 10 or 15 students who are very serious. They have been given this UPSC 4-5 times. They have attempted 3 times, 4 times, but they cannot clear prelims. So will you please suggest them how they should change their studies or how they should do to clear the prelims?
Alright. So, firstly, it is great to know that there are serious aspirants in the community. And with regards to clearing prelims, in my opinion, prelims is not just a test of knowledge; it is also a test of strategy. And the kind of questions they're being asked now, you need to be good at, something we call as logical guessing. So, because it is not possible for you to know all 100 questions. There is no one in the entire country who knows that. But it is possible to logically eliminate certain options in the prelims since it is an MCQ paper. It is possible to logically eliminate them, and once your knowledge base is created, I think that the skills, these elimination skills, need to be really worked on because given the difficulty level of the paper now.
Okay, thank you so much. And one more question. See, what happened is like it happens to every aspirant. Okay, especially in my community. Tomorrow, this coming Sunday, 5th June is the prelims exam, right? Most of the student, 90% in my community, they always say to me, we cannot sleep, and some of them they don't sleep and they go for exam, and then they have lots of pressure, mental pressure. So how are they going to control this? How are they going to face this kind of problems? Will you please suggest them how they have to face these challenges so that they can do best on the examination day?
Firstly, to everyone who's giving prelims on Sunday, my best wishes, my heartiest best wishes. And secondly, it is very natural. We all know how it feels to be there before prelims. Your anxiety is peaking, and even if you have revised it 100 times, you always feel there is 101st revision left to be done. So that is there. But like I said, there is only so much you can do. Now you must have prepared for 1 year, 2 years before that, and in the next 3-4 days, since it is I think on the 5th, in the next 3 days you will not add anything valuable to your knowledge base. It is simply not possible. We are human beings, so it is very essential that you calm yourself down. Although your body will tell you otherwise, your mind will tell you otherwise, you have to listen to what your body needs, and you have to calm yourself down so that when you when you solve the paper in the examination hall, your thinking is very clear. Because with a tired mind comes a very fog, muddled thinking, and that is suicide in prelims.
That's very precious. That's a very precious suggestion or advice, especially for the aspirants. Even now, the students who are just thinking, I want to give the exam, they don't experience this. But those who are very serious, they already experienced. But today you have already put this very important comment. Let me speak in my dialect. Aini ka kom lekha katay hai UPSC Civil Prelims ka peksik hai. Exam ya jing chi jan tunja ni ye thailo chuki. So it's a humble request atuna Ankur Das Dr. Don't think atikeka. 3 days you don't think that whether you revise well or not. Your mind katrata anataksa rest naman lo katrana positika arhipi. Thank you so much. And one more, is your father arrived, Ankurji?
No, I have one.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, wait. I think we can just have one.
Wait. Hello, hold on.
Ankur, just I have one question for you. I just wanted to know, what is your advice for the civil service aspirant regarding choosing of a subject. What is your advice for them?
Is it for optional?
Optional, yes.
Yeah, we have to be very specific.
Yeah, so your optional marks, they play a very big role, because in the other in 5 papers, general papers, everyone is writing the same answers. So you don't really have a chance to stand out, because there will be people who write very good answers. There will be someone who's actually worked in the development sector, and he's writing an answer on development, and it is probably not possible to beat his knowledge, because he has it from the ground. So the only, at least in my opinion, the only way you can actually shine is in your optional subject from for everyone. And if you are good with your optional subject, you have a very big edge over other people. So it is very essential that you choose a subject which is it is easy for you, interesting and easy for you, and B, material is available. Because if you choose something which you like, but there is no material available, then that becomes a problem, because you have less time. So you need to have very good and concise material.
Okay, one more last question. What quality of a person is required to become a civil servant? Because definitely everyone cannot become a civil servant. What do you think? It's a saying, no? They say, no, this is a civil service, ये तो IAS का matter है. मतलब he had that quality of to become an IAS. Definitely today you have that IAS that matter is with you. So you become an IAS. So I believe that civil service, if you see the success rate of a student, I think civil service is one of the success rate is the least. The applicant, so many students, everyone aspire to become a civil servant, but the success rate is very less. That's why everyone, it's like a marathon race when only the toughest win. And when I listen to your the previous what you tell us, what motivate yourself and everything, so it's really an inspiring. So last word is that what quality needs to become a civil servant?
That was a very generous remark you made. So to be honest, I am not qualified to comment on the qualities that are required in the civil servant, because UPSC, they have a personality test for this very purpose. So I believe they are much more qualified and much more experienced to pass a judgment. I can, of course, speak on what it takes to be a good aspirant. I think the biggest the quality that a good aspirant should have is, like you said, it is a marathon. And for marathon, more than speed, you need endurance and you need perseverance. So since it is a very long process, the exam itself takes 1 year. Since you will be giving the prelims in June, the result will come out in next year's probably May. So the exam takes 1 year, and that before that you have to prepare for at least 1 year, if not more. So for at least 2-3 years, you're continuously studying. And if you don't have perseverance, then this is not possible. So that patience and the perseverance is
Exam itself
takes 1 year. You cannot give up. Study for 10 hours one day and say tomorrow, okay, I will take a rest because I studied 10 hours yesterday. That is not best. You study for 3 hours, but you study every day. That is, I think, the biggest takeaway.
Thank you so much. That perseverance and endurance that makes you to become a civil servant. Tuna angkurin ahiri ka thokhat le derhat intihi hiwi aman ahi pen ka civil servant in ka changthai nisan ati ka changa. Thank you so much, Ankur. Your valuable time you have given us. I think your advice, these are very, very valuable, which we cannot buy. And in fact, today, in spite of your busy schedule, you have managed. And I really thank from the bottom of my heart. My friend wanted to say something. before you end. But I need to speak to your father again.
Ankur, you will not be able to. Ankur, you will not be able to go now. It's a humble request, please, because a few of the students, they have just sent 1-2 questions.
All right.
The question is it really necessary to take coaching class? Is it really necessary to take a coaching class?
Yes, all right. So, see, me personally, I did not take coaching. I only did mock interviews. But again, I will not go to the extent of saying that it is not necessary, because the guidance, the initial guidance, the coaching industry, the coaching classes will give you a very good initial guidance. That part, of course, I was fortunate to have it at home and with my interactions. But that said, yes, going to a coaching class will definitely, they will tell you exactly how to study. But the studying you have to do yourself. That no one
Okay.
will be able to help you.
Thank you so much. That's very, very important. Coaching class in yao thai che ta kha akatai si kan nang sake na tai ma chan coaching class na yao nom hem ma atike. See, what we experience, Ankur, so many experience we have come across, like student, they come here in Delhi, they go for coaching and then they are frustrated. Lots of materials in the market, in the coaching class, and even provided by this like other aspirants. So you have not taken coaching class. Tuning Ankuri coaching class lolo ke abing a self study with proper. Do you have any guidance, Ankur? Any guidance?
Right. So, there is a saying in our community that your ultimate goal is to be a collector and not a notes collector. So, especially if you are in Delhi, you go to those places, you will find it's like a fish market. Everyone is selling at least 100 notes of the same subject.
Yes.
But if you plan to do serious self-study, especially, you have to stick to only one or two sources. It is better to read the one source 10 times, read 10 sources once. It is very attractive to buy, a new magazine or a new book, but it is always essential and is always nice to read one book 10 times rather than read 10 books once.
Thank you so much. And one more question. The question will be so fast. uh, See, the question is, do we really need to attend online preliminary mock test? Do we need to attend mock test?
All right. Yes, in preliminary stage, it is very essential that you develop the right skills to, like I said, eliminate questions, and that will only come if you solve, these test papers in a simulated environment. But of course, in my opinion, I think the best, you know, what was a lighthouse in this thing are the previous UPSC question papers themselves. So
Okay.
before you attempt the test things, you should go through the previous UPSC question papers and see the kind of questions they ask. You will find that it is different from the ones that is said in the mock interviews, asked in the mock interviews, and you have to prepare according to what UPSC wants.
Oh, that's really great. That's very, very precious one again. Once more. Arhika Ankur Tarhika dunia jing ati prelims ka peksi hai. Previous year question and yo kashati ke ka. Atarhika do aware lerang eri. Next question is what is the question is like the role. What is the role of newspaper in prelims and mains? Will you please tell us the role of newspaper, the importance of newspaper?
Yeah, newspaper definitely it is essential because current affairs is a very big part of the preparation, and of course you do have these online compilations. Many of these institutes they take out compilations which they have all the important news of a month. But until and unless you read the newspaper, you will miss out the bigger picture. Like I can tell you what happened today in 10 lines, but unless you actually read in depth, then you will just know it from above. So maybe for others, just knowing it from above suffices. But in UPSC, you have to know it from deep. In preliminary and mains, definitely you have to write 200 words, so you can't just rely on 2 lines.
Right. Thank you so much. And the last question is, today there are lots of information like from online example Insight IAS, Vision IAS, IAS Baba, and some other coaching center notes. Multiple sources are there. So which particular source to handpick for UPSC preparation? Which particular source to handpick for UPSC preparation?
I think all of them are doing an equally great job, and I do not want to mention anyone.
Okay.
But the availability, what you like. Some people might like it when the notes are very colorful. So some institute might have very colorful notes with maps and diagrams. So you can obviously go for what works for you.
Oh, thank you so much. Your questions are very short and very perfect. Ankur, you have been experienced preparing this civil service. Last but not the least, I would humbly request you, in future, if we need any kind of suggestion or like this interaction, I humbly beg you to allow us to interact with our students once again. In case in our community, if anybody clear prelims, they might be confused what to do. In that case, we might come to you, or else again, like today program, in future we might have a session. So I humbly request you to please do help our community once again if we invite you once again. So thank you so much, Ankur Das, and once more congratulate you on behalf of Kom TV, on behalf of Kom tribe, Kom community. So, and you are the topper in the whole Northeast this 2020-21 this UPSC examination. And then we are so happy. When I come to know about you, I was so much happy because I never knew you, but my brother Alain told me that he is no one, he's our commissioner son. So when I come to know that, we were so happy, and then we are so glad today you give us lots of beautiful and lots of precious inputs so that the student will pick up, intelligent student will pick up today, and then I'm so sure that they will surely benefit it. So thank you so much once again. And now if we invite respected sir, your father, that would be more good. If you ask your father to come to join us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was great interacting with you. I will just prepare the video for some time and I will just see it. So I'll just call it.
Yes.
Thank you. Aulen in Kom here hingkang wa kapul.
Live la comment no, live la comment no.
Ai to kho ma.
Live comment no apply ka lut sik te no. Ka kom mi puya hinanga khana ju viewers ai hinanga ni thi nom ju tuningai man katam ta ke yar chu atuna stoni no mai rio ama hi Ankur Das si civil service exam tuna ju 52nd rank topper ke ama hi not is asiga no. Ana IAS 74 sitcom general ama IAS confirm yo ke amala ama hi first option api hi Meghalaya Assam kader ke ana ama IAS confirm ka sang yo very humble hai ke an pa sa khana apa hi tun interview abana question kai darsi ama hi leilut ma ama hi mi ka chatak hai mi ka chamtak hai khana mi humble ka sang hai ke apa hi inspector alai ka luda khana assistant commissioner retired ka chang ke kum khat kum niai pha yo ma man ret meng kum ni ka po lai pha ma ning ana mani hi kari nom pen ka chu akachin here ga tunta khan no minister Meghalaya government ta minister ai ka ba yaning khan DGP in visit awato no ana hintua kachina akom hai ke changinum an manin hi wa pha man katam tak hi antai pik man hi ini si man katang ke te ka hi nom khana ama khan network aya no ma yo mai ma khana coming Saturday Sunday exam ke pe si rakip num best wishes ka hi pe hai no an alak mo na ri no ma kom
hai khong yo we welcome Ankur Das father hana engkar to atuni ari ka UPSC prepare ka to hai ka je thai mak hai loi ka thara ngai ori ka tunchu khani rang yon chu relax tak amasana atun chungen ai ni ka kom prelims mi ranga yaw ya mak nai pang hai ka tha toru yar chu ai ni ka ai nim civil service nyong nei mak ne kum re okay ayara kan ni IAS pa tuning hin Neilenthang hi kavan hum her ke atun katung office line tung ke hoyar ga mai hong thei lo ke amanom amalung her miss ka toyotia achang enom aban lem kawasi khana aini IFS Esther Lerton kimum kavan hum her ke ta ka tun chinyar kan hong thei mak aban le hivakane ga interactive session ka thatan yong nei si Namaste, namaste, sir.
Good evening,
Hey,
sir.
namaste. Hello to everybody. Hello,
Hello.
Lopeng. How are you?
Fine, sir.
And last but not the least, thank you all the viewers, Kom TV, Kom people, Kom community, and other community who are watching live today. This is the very special moment and blessing for every community who can understand English. At the same time, we are very blessed to have this Ankur family to be a part of Kom TV family, and I do hope we will be I do hope so many students will benefited with this session today.